Hey Chubby, thank you for clicking my video. I mean, absolutely no invalidation by that. I just want to share with you some vital information you need as to why you're chubby, why you can't lose the weight, and how to get this chub to go away once and for all. So if any of that sounds good to you, let's move on. So first and foremost, here's you. This is why you're chubby. This is why you can't lose weight and you have that belly fat, is because there's something wrong and or several things wrong in this chart, because this is basically you as represented by a pie chart. So let's get into it and see why. So there are many reasons why you could be chubby, and food can definitely be one of them. But if you've tried weight loss programs, fad diets, etc., and you're still having a problem, I can absolutely tell you with 100% certainty your weight problem's not a food problem. Now, we have to rule that out first and foremost, which we will by going through the pie chart. But second, we have to find out if there isn't more to the story, and that's what I'm the expert in. So what you might have going on is inside you and or inside your fat cells, you could have a problem other than food. Now we'll show how the food again fits into the situation, but what if your chub was actually due to something else? So let's take a look. Now the first one I have here, and these are in no particular order, and it's air. So you're like, what in the world would air have to do with me being chubby? Well, if you don't know, guess where your body stores all of the bad stuff and all of the poisons? In your fat cells. So if there's some reason why your body can't detox and or eliminate something you're breathing in via its normal channels, what it has to do in order for you to not die, basically, is take it out of the bloodstream and put it somewhere safer. And the safe place by design where the body puts things it doesn't know what to do with is it stores it all in the fat cells. So you could be chubby because you're breathing in toxic air. Now, what we'd have to do is find out what toxins they are and then find the terminately handling solution for that. But let's just take it at face value that you might be chubby because of the poisonous air you're breathing. The next thing is remember, like I said, everything bad that the body has to protect you against gets stored in your fat cells. So let's say you have a long-term chronic bacteria situation. You have something going on with your immune system and it's not working right. I don't know why. That's a whole other video. But you have a long-term bacterial situation that you haven't handled, and between these bacteria themselves and the debris that they create, if your body, again, cannot properly eliminate these via the normal channels, where is your body going to put all this bacterial debris? Inside your fat cells. Now, why fat cells? The fat is designed in a body to be a protective and insulating and storage measurement unit. It's not in there to just make you not fit in your jeans well. What it is that if your body has to keep you alive and keep you safe, there must be some safe place kind of under lock and key, just like you would in your house, to put this bad stuff to keep it from harming you. And the reason for your fat is not only to store fat for future energy, it's also to put all of the harmful waste and debris. So possibly you're breathing in bad air and these toxins need to be stored in the fat. Possibly you have bacteria debris, and what we need to do is, number one, handle the bacterial situation, boost your immune system, and then, as you can see, logically you'll start losing weight. But that's only if the bacterial situation is the reason you're chubby in the first place. Possibly it is a dietary component. Too many people are eating too many carbohydrates. So may or may not be an air or a bacterial situation. It could be just the good old food that you just need to clean up your diet. Carbohydrates also include sugar. So anything in the sugary, carbohydrate, starchy, grainy family, all of that stuff qualifies for being a carbohydrate. There's two components here, not only to this particular slice of the pie, but all of them, is there's a quantity component and a quality component. So too many people get caught up on the one side or the other, and they're like, oh, I only eat organic carbohydrates. So what? You're still eating too many of them, so you're still chubby. And or you might not be eating a lot of carbohydrates, but it's in the form of pure sugar, low quality, and you still might be chubby. So what we're looking at here is what's stored inside the fat cells besides fat, and also the qualitative and the quantitative component to handling your chubbiness. The next one here is chemicals. So similar to the air, you might be being exposed and or in the past been exposed to chemicals. I don't know where. That would be part of my job, is to find out why. The first thing is that we would need to determine, is part of the chubbiness and the increased size and quantity of your fat cells due to chemicals being stored in there? Well, first and foremost, we find out which chemicals they are. We do a detox to get out those chemicals, and lo and behold, the chubbiness goes away because we've gotten at the true cause and true source of your weight situation. Possibly you have a predisposition for being fat, and that's in your DNA. So let's say you're doing all of the things that we've already talked about, and the weight is still an issue, and the chubbiness is not going away the way you hoped or expected. Well, you could actually have some of your genetics working against you, that your body's in there trying to make you fat despite all of your best efforts. So it's not a matter of, do we only do air, or we only handle the bacteria situation, or we only handle your diet. We also, in conjunction with some of these other slices we've already gone through, we handle the DNA. So one of the situations that I see with most people who have a weight situation is they assume it's one thing that's causing the weight problem. And the thing is that it's usually a comedy of errors, as you're starting to see here in the pie chart. It's because they're breathing in low quality air. It's because they have a long-term chronic bacterial situation. It's because they're also eating too many carbohydrates. And then it's also because they have bad genes. So now what you have to do in order to get the chubbiness to go away, and like I said, once and for all, because fad diets will handle this. You can do intermittent fasting and keto and just starve yourself to death. All of that will contribute to being less chubby and weight loss. But what we're here to talk about is permanent weight loss, because they're only handling some of the parts of the pie chart, not all of them. And this is why every time you do a fad diet, you gain the weight 3 to 6 months later, because you only handled one or two of these slices of the pie. And the secret to permanent weight loss is finding out, number one, what all of the slices that you are, and handling them all accordingly and fixing them once and for all. And then the weight just goes away and never comes back, because why? You have fixed the true cause. The next one here could be due to EMFs. Now you're like, what in the world does EMFs have to do with me being chubby? Well, as you know, everything in life has its own frequency and wavelength, and these EMF frequencies might be going in and messing with your body. So you're sitting there stagnant at your computer at work all day, and then on top of it, you have extra frequencies and wavelengths coming into the body that it doesn't know what to do with. So it's just another irritating factor. So that maybe instead of your body handling this EMF upset, it's predisposed by this already fat situation and chubby situation you have going on, and it can't handle both. So your body should handle both, but it's not. So sitting around EMFs as just kind of slowing down, dumbing down your body all day long and just making it kind of like, instead of, So EMFs can actually reduce the frequency of wavelength of you and your fat cells. Maybe it's an enzyme thing. Maybe you're just not digesting your food. I don't know. Maybe you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, or you don't have enough of the stomach enzymes, or who knows what. But definitely one of the reasons that your body will store food is if it's not properly digested. So it has to be broken down into its teeniest, tiniest particles to be eliminated via the bowels and the bladder. If the body can't do it and it's got these semi-digested particles floating around, it can't get that out. So again, where does it put this semi-digested food? In your fat cells. Maybe it's fat itself. Maybe you're just eating too much fat. So one of the cliches is that everybody's saying, oh, fat makes you fat, and carbohydrates make you fat, and everything makes you fat. And the truth is that maybe it's just good old fat that's making you fat. Now, this is similar to, but not exactly the same mechanism as the enzymes, that there are actually fat-soluble enzymes that you have. They're not the ones that digest your food in the stomach. They're the ones that further break it down once it leaves the stomach. So if you are deficient in these fat enzymes, you are going to have a weight problem, because your body, again, is storing this extra fat and this undigested or partially digested fat, and it doesn't know what to do with it. And again, it can't eliminate it. So what does it do? It stores it inside the fat cells. Now you have not only regular fat in your fat cells, now you have other fat in your fat cells. Possibly joints. Now, what the heck does joints have to do with anything? Well, this is more from a physical therapy and a chiropractic standpoint. So if you have other things in the way, such as a chronic joint pain, arthritis, or musculoskeletal situation in the way, the reason this will make you chubby is, number one, inflammation. So possibly you're actually just bigger because you have a whole bunch of inflammation in there, not only in the joints, but also in the gut and the gut lining. The second part of that is that maybe your body's too preoccupied by trying to handle this pain and inflammation that it's not properly metabolizing or digesting your food, or your metabolic rate is decreased because it has these predisposing factors. So what we would have to look at, and I kid you not, is whether you have actually a chiropractic and or a musculoskeletal situation in general that we would need to handle first to get all of your body's time and attention off of this joint pain and this arthritis, so it can go and put 100% of its attention on increasing your metabolism and detoxing out these fat cells. So it sounds almost ridiculous, but this is what I'm here to share with you, is all of the things that no one has ever told you is the real reasons why you're chubby. The next one might be a mental component. So I'm not here to tell you you're crazy, but we're talking about stress and having your attention and being preoccupied by bad situations in life. So again, if your body is preoccupied by worrying about things or being fearful of things or having its attention and stress elsewhere in life, do you think it's going to have the time and attention to put on making sure, again, you have the correct metabolism, that all these foods are properly broken down and eliminated? No, you're going to have residues of not only the stress hormones such as cortisol, you also have now the food residues of what you're not properly digesting. And guess where all of this is going to get stored? In the fat cells. And what's going to happen? You're going to be chubby. The next one here has to do with the meridians and acupuncture. So you have natural flows and chi in a body. And if any of these flows are stuck, they can, again, result in higher stress, lower mental capacity, too much cortisol. They can produce faulty metabolism, a decrease in enzymes, and all of the things we just talked about. So possibly, do you need to kind of rebalance your meridians and get some acupuncture? Possibly. But again, as you can see here, it's no more or less important than any other slice of the pie chart we've already talked about. They're all the same size because they are all equal in their potential problem and or being the true cause. So maybe, again, you need to boost your immune system and handle the bacteria situation. We need to check out your DNA and see how high risk you are for DNA and genetic predispositions. We might have to put you on some enzymes. And in addition to all of that, we might also have to have some acupuncture done. So again, you could see it's not one of the things. It's whatever your story, your body, what it tells me, and everything on the pie chart is fair game to need to be handled in order to handle your chubbiness once and for all. It could also be metal toxicity. Either in the past or currently you might be being exposed to lead, arsenic, mercury, aluminum. Who knows? But remember, if this body can't get these poisons out, where is it going to store it to protect you? In the fat cells. So maybe you have big and plentiful fat cells because you have heavy metal poisoning in there. So I don't know, but that's what we would need to find out. Possibly you have a mineral deficiency. Now, why does this have to do with weight loss? Well, the thing is this metabolism we're talking about, you need minerals in order to turn on your metabolism. So if you're mineral deficient, you're not going to turn on your metabolism. You're not going to metabolize your food properly. These residues are going to be floating around in the bloodstream. The body has to go and hide them somewhere. So that's how a mineral deficiency would lead to fat and chubbiness. It also is the minerals are the precursors to making these enzymes. So possibly the reason you're deficient in enzymes is you're not providing the body the raw materials to make these enzymes. So mineral deficiency means not good quality enzymes or lack of production of enzymes, which lack of production of enzymes leads to maldigested or undigested food. Undigested food that you can't eliminate properly via the bowels and the bladder kind of sort of floats around in the bloodstream. The body sees this as a toxin. The body knows we can't have toxins in the bloodstream. It then takes this toxin, and where have we said this entire video where the body stores these toxins? In the fat cells. You're chubby. Now you're starting to see the whole scenario here. Same thing here, could be a muscle situation. So this could be for two reasons. Number one, similar to the joints, you might have some chronic inflammatory situation going on in your muscles and your body's preoccupied with handling that, and your body has to handle that before it can get to the weight loss. The other thing is do you know that your entire digestive tract is actually muscle? That's how your body kind of squishes and moves the food from your mouth down through the digestive tract is via muscles that make up your stomach, your intestines, etc. So if you have some chronic pain, inflammation, non-optimum muscle situation in just your regular muscles, say in your arms and your legs, realize that your body is not particular as to what muscles get affected. It usually is a problem top to bottom. So if you're having problems with the muscles in your arms and your legs, I guarantee you, without even taking a further look, you have a problem with the muscles in your digestive tract. And handling the one would help handle the other, and hence help you lose weight and get rid of the chubbiness. You possibly, from an immune system standpoint, could also have a parasite. So similar to the bacterial immune system component, you could have parasites making you fat because, again, they give off debris. And where does their debris need to be stored? In the fat cells. They also, as you know, take up room in your intestinal tract. So if you have an overgrowth or an abundance of parasites, you might actually have bloating and inflammation and a fat gut because of the parasites just making you go boop, 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 boop. Very, very possible. The next one here is protein. You possibly, number one, aren't eating enough protein. Possibly, again, you're eating enough protein, but you don't have the enzymes to break down this protein. So if you have this maldigested protein again, where is that toxic residue going to be stored? In the fat cells. There could be a spiritual component. Now, the reason I put this on the slide, and everybody's like, well, what do you do for that? Technically, not much. What I'm just putting out here is all of the reasons that you might have this weight and chubbiness situation. Now, the spiritual component usually comes back to some kind of stress in your life, some unhandled situation. We're not going to get into the psychosis of that. What I'm just talking about is we're going to at least take a look at it as one of the components, because it could be the final piece. So you're eating the perfect diet. We're boosting your immune system. You're on the correct nutritional supplements, but you need someone to talk to. You have a situation either in the past or now that's affecting you. Well, then we're going to take a look at that. Something that, again, I'm not the expert in, but at least I know enough and have enough expertise to know it could be part of the situation, and we can talk about that as part of the weight loss program and handle it accordingly. The next one here is just the good old subluxation. So for all of those of you who are familiar with chiropractic, what does the chiropractic adjustment do? It realigns the spine to make all of the nerves in the spinal column that go out to all the different parts of your body, including what? Your stomach, your digestive tract, your enzymes, your fat cells, etc. If you have all of the highways properly opened and energy is flowing smoothly, similar to the acupuncture treatment, to all of these organs, areas, and systems, don't you think that would help improve your metabolism, improve your detox, improve your body's ability to digest, and improve your body's ability to open up those fat cells, expel the debris, and again have it properly eliminated via the bowels and the bladder? So we should or could possibly be putting in some chiropractic adjustments from a nervous system standpoint to keep the whole electrical panel working at peak performance. It can also, again, be a virus. Same thing, you could have a long-term chronic viral situation where you just have too many viral situations going on top to bottom. They could be in individual organs and systems. Their debris could be being stored in the fat cells, and or it just could be suppressing your immune system and therefore your metabolism, that because this viral situation is present, we can't get your metabolism started, and or we can't keep the fire burning. And why would that be? Is because you have this viral situation suppressing not only your immune system, but your body's core temperature and metabolic rate. All of these things, whether it's bacteria, virus, parasites, etc., can all suppress your metabolic rate due to the sheer presence of them in your body. So we need to get that handled if you have a viral situation present. The next thing here, just similar to the minerals, it could be a flat-out vitamin deficiency. You could be deficient in B1, B2, vitamin E, vitamin C. It doesn't matter. All of these things, as I'm sure you've seen now on the internet, is every single vitamin can contribute to weight loss. So it's not a matter of do you need to take all of them. What we would need to find out is which ones are the ones. So let's say out of all the B vitamins, you're only deficient in B2. Well, taking a multivitamin isn't going to do the trick because you're taking too much of all the ones you don't need. You'd actually be better off taking a more concentrated version that specifically addresses and or better addresses the B2 component. The other thing, just like this pie chart, maybe it's not one vitamin. That's the biggest mistake I see, again, with weight loss and chubbiness, is everyone thinks it's one thing. I'm telling you here by this pie chart, the reason you're chubby is at least 4 or 5 of these things. At least, maybe more. It's also true for all the minerals, all the enzymes, and all the vitamins. It's not, oh, take B1 for weight loss, or oh, take vitamin C for weight loss, or take vitamin E for weight loss. Maybe for your particular situation, you need vitamin A and C and E and B, in addition to getting chiropractic adjustments and breathing in better air and handling your parasite situation. So this is the comedy of errors as to why you can't lose weight, and or even if you can, you can't keep it off. Because what you keep doing is concentrating on the food component. And as you can see on the chart, that is a percentage of the story, but it's not the whole story. And then last but definitely not least, because all things on the pie chart are created equal, is it could be your source of water. So lousy quality water and or water in plastic bottles all gives you extra toxins that your body has to now metabolize out. Maybe you're chubby just by the sheer fact is you're drinking too much of the wrong water. I've seen people where that's all it was, is that you had too much water in your system and you also had a low quality water. So your body couldn't excrete out all the extra fluid and you were holding on to it and getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So again, if you're not doing the things in the correct order and in the sequence and priority order that the body wants, you can see how you can totally mess up this pie chart. Because these things can be algorithmically in any particular order. It can be all of them, some of them, most of them, 2 of them. It could be that you have to handle this one first or that one first or this one first. It could be all of them and over time. So maybe it's all of these things, but not necessarily all being handling at the same time. So you can see all of the variables and arbitraries, and this is why you and your body is so complex and why you're having trouble with your chubbiness. Is social media is trying to tell you is this is the one thing. Here's the one magic bullet and the one answer to all of your weight loss problems. It's not true. It's all of these things. Now, how do you figure this all out? Well, that's where I come into play, because you, without some kind of biochemical and physiology degree, you'll never figure it out. You will continue to read social media and internet website page after page after page, trying this and trying that and trying this and trying that until the end of time, and still not have permanent weight loss. And that's what I'm here to fix for you. So how do we achieve all of this? I do a tailor-made body optimization program. There is no 2 protocols that are the same. The very first thing I have to do is find out what's going on with you based on the pie chart, and then put all of those things we found in the correct sequence, and then it becomes a tailor-made program. So I've never done the same weight loss program on anyone ever for 2 situations remotely close and or different. It's a body optimization program, tailor-made, designed just for you, because what we need to do is get your metabolism working at optimum, your enzymatic system working at optimum. We need to get your vitamin and mineral levels to optimum. And what they are, I have no idea. That's why you and I need to talk. So speaking of that, I'd love to help you with your chubbiness. So let's talk. Schedule your free 20-minute health interview with me. We're going to get all of the details on what's going on, what we need to do, and we can take it from there. So the first thing I need to know is what you're running into, so we can start opening the path and designing the journey from right there. So go to my website at www.drloripuskar.com, and at the top there'll be a tab over to the left called Health Interview, and go ahead and take a look at my calendar and schedule your free health interview with you. Let's talk about your pie chart, what might be going on, and how with a tailor-made body optimization program we can handle your chubbiness once and for all. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.